Not concerned with your salary nor your material. Not concerned with your quest to be imperial. Not concerned with your monetary ranking of women based on the physical. We won't do everything umbilical. Move me. Not impressed by your movies, your sports drink, or your fast car. All that comes with being the rap star. Can I ask y'all one simple question? Really see what's that have to do with your ability? Move Take me places I've never been or knew I wanted to go. Share things I'm not even sure I wanted to know. Yo, you can't be silent. You were blessed with the voice. Make me feel it like I never had a choice. Move me.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Come on. Come on. I was born in Prince George's County, Maryland. Grew up in PG up until I was 18. Then I moved to Brooklyn, New York. And it wasn't until I was 14, and I was always a super hip hop fan, where I think I was in the lunchroom, we was spitting rhymes or whatever, different songs we knew, my man beating on the table. And I just kept getting compliments that, like, man, you sound better than some of these rappers do singing. But when you say that stuff, it sounds better. Like, man, you should rap. The one thing that kind of has always come back around has been some type of service, me helping other people. And the music, more than anything else, has kind of put me in a position to continuously serve others and help others. And it's something about the music I'm making that kind of puts me in that position all of the time. So for me, I really just kind of rap about my own experience. When you talk about other things, I think we all have an opinion on something. But I think my opinion is most valid when I speak on myself, you know? So what I find oftentimes is when I talk about things I'm not as familiar with and state my opinion on those things, is the backlash is always, you know, going to come across someone who knows more than you do about that particular subject. So I've done it in past songs, and I still do it. I think like, you know, it's necessary. It helps people see that you can relate to their story, even though these stories are fictional. They're based in truths. They're things that I see. They're people I know, little observations I made in friends or family members, where I'm trying to put myself in their shoes. So I think it's important to tell other people's stories, you know. But I feel most comfortable talking about my own experiences, whether it's raising my daughter or my wife or whatever, you know, just kind of talking about our relationship and the ups and downs of that. Community work, like I talk about a lot of what I see in our community, because, you know, I've been doing youth work for as long as I've been putting out music professionally. So it's definitely, I'm not a dude who talks about what's going on, and I'm not actually out there, and, you know, sometimes when you're working in the business, you'll meet people who will tell you that in order for you to get on, or in order for you to kind of get certain opportunities, you're gonna have to make music that sounds like this. When I went to Japan and saw what the scene was like and what they were digging, it was the polar opposite of what I had been told. And I realized then that, man, this is kind of like an untapped thing. Like, this is, you know, a scene in itself that, like, you know, I could do what I'm doing right now, which might seem dated to some people. To me, it's just classic. Classics never really die. They just, you know, they get better with time. So it's just a classic sound. And I learned that, like, I could do that, be successful, get some great opportunities that I might not otherwise get because of, you know, whether trying to be too hardcore or whatever. So when Odyssey gathered the music for the project, when he played that beat in particular, you know, like, I'm at a point where I've written so many songs that, like, I like bouncing ideas off of people, or at least hearing their feedback on it. And so he just had this idea for the hook, like, speak about it and speak about it, what would I be without it? Brilliant. It was actually him who came up with the hook for the song. And, you know, just really, like, he felt like it was a great track to talk about, how, like, people have this one preconceived idea of what I should be or what we should be, and how regardless of what everyone thinks we should be, like, you can't help but be yourself. And so I really, I just really looked at my life, man. Like, I think people see me and they automatically think they know who I am, which is idiotic at best. And so I really used that song as an opportunity to break down, like, a lot of different stereotypes that I came across. And I thought about my life, thought about people I came across, You know, there's a line, I think second verse, where I say, I'm supposed to be homeless, slept on the floors of my brothers, no Jonas, so I ain't think about opponents, went from couch surfer to a homeowner. You know, like, that right there, I feel like that's a lot of what doesn't get talked about in hip hop, man. It's like, you want me to care about who's the new rapper, who's hot right now, or like how such and such is talking about this dude because he ain't really making paper like that. And it's like, I can't even pretend to care about that stuff. Like, I can't pretend to care about it. I'm like, man, 10 years ago, when I was getting offered my first deal for a month and a half, almost 2 months, I didn't even have a stable home. You know what I mean? Like, I was sleeping on my friends' floors, you know? And then my wife, who could have been with her folks, was crashing wherever I crashed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was realer than that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I can't care about that other stuff. I'm not gonna rap about all of that. Life is real enough, you know? More than anything, and I tell this to all my students, you know, talent plays a small part in it. It does. Like, you know, you need some type of talent, you need some type of skill. But more than anything, persistence. You know what I mean? Like, if you want it bad enough, continue to work for it. And you'll notice that it'll start as a large group of people all working toward the same thing, and it continuously gets smaller and smaller. And you will determine if you're the person who decides to ride it all the way out, or the person who gives it up because life got too hard and I had to focus on something real. You know what I mean? Like, you know, just keep pushing. Keep pushing. You know, someone quoted me yesterday, the song Mr. Consistent, where I say no quit in them. And I think about quitting a lot of things on a pretty regular basis, but I don't succumb to it. You know what I mean? I think that's a real feeling for anybody. We all question whether or not we're doing the right thing. But if it feels right to you, if it feels right to you, if it, like, you know, if it's just constantly this thing that's just eating away at you, like you really have to do it, then do it. Don't make any excuses about it, do it. And when you succeed, when you get to that point where you feel like you've reached your goal, you'll be surprised how many people you've inspired along the way.